Constantine. He had his son beheaded, Constantine the Great. He boiled his wife alive, Constantine equal to the apostles. His 10-year-old nephew was strangled to death by his orders, Constantine the Christian saint. He committed all these atrocities just 1 year after the Council of Nicaea. But oh, how we venerate the great Emperor Constantine. If you grew up in Eastern Orthodox or Roman Catholic circles, you already know how highly Constantine the Great is praised. The Eastern Orthodox Church literally calls him Saint Constantine the Great, equal to the apostles. Every year on May 21st, they celebrate him and his mother Helena. They teach that his conversion began at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge in 312 AD and slowly grew from there. Rome doesn't call him a saint, but they still treat him as the emperor who ended persecution and helped the church expand. They see him as someone God used, even if his personal life had rough edges. But once you actually look at the historical record, a very different picture comes into focus. Just 1 year after the famous Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, the same emperor who supposedly converted to Christianity ordered the deaths of his own son, his wife, and his 10-year-old nephew. Here's the timeline. Crispus, his oldest son and a respected military leader, was executed at Pola. Sources say he was either poisoned or beheaded. Fausta, Constantine's wife, was killed soon after. The common account says she died in an overheated bathhouse. Licinius II, his young nephew, about 10 years old, was strangled on Constantine's orders around 326 to 327 AD. Just imagine the disgust in heaven when Eastern Orthodox heap praise on Constantine. All the while the angels witnessed a 10-year-old child strangled to death by his orders. One can only imagine the confusion and fear in this young boy's mind, as his uncle, whom he trusted to spare his life, is now having him snuffed out. All of this happened more than a decade after his supposed conversion. The man who saw the cross in the sky had no problem taking the lives of his own family. The church calls him great. History remembers damnatio memoriae, the erasure of those he destroyed. After Crispus, Fausta, and Licinius II were gone, something strange happens in the record. The official Roman documents suddenly go quiet. Their names vanish. Their portraits disappear. Their statues are removed. In ancient Rome, this wasn't random. This was damnatio memoriae, condemnation of memory. No public trial, no explanation, no apology anywhere in the sources. Even Eusebius of Caesarea, Constantine's biggest fanboy, the guy who practically worshipped him on paper, skips over the entire year of 326 AD. He pretends none of it happened. Later writers like Zosimus and Zonorus fill in the missing pieces. They confirm. Crispus was executed at Pola. Fausta died in her bath. Licinius II, the 10-year-old boy, was strangled after his father's defeat. All of this happened between 324 and 327 AD, years after Constantine's conversion. And just 1 year after the Council of Nicaea, Constantine ruled for another decade after all this. He founded Constantinople in 330 AD and filled it with Christian symbols mixed with pagan ones. His coins still showed Sol Invictus, the sun god, right next to the Christian Chi-Rho. There's a saying that goes, "Believe enough in yourself and others will believe with you." He took that to heart. He called himself God's chosen ruler, but still accepted honors that used to belong to the Roman gods. But trust him, he said it himself. He was God's chosen vessel. He built churches in Jerusalem, Rome, and Constantinople. But he never said a word about the killings. He never took responsibility. And he didn't even get baptized until the very end of his life. And even then, this matters. The bishop who baptized him was Eusebius of Nicomedia, a leading supporter of Arianism. The same movement that denied Jesus was fully God. Exactly the doctrine Nicaea condemned 12 years earlier. He was baptized in 337 AD. He died shortly after. His body was placed in the Church of the Holy Apostles, surrounded by 12 empty tombs meant to represent the apostles, as if Constantine saw himself as the 13th. The Eastern Orthodox Church still calls him equal to the apostles. The Catholic Church still views him as a ruler used by God. The angels still see the blood on his hands from the strangulation of his 10-year-old nephew. Constantine's legacy is a story of empire. He truly was great, one of the greatest emperors, if not the greatest. But great does not equal Christian. It does not equal servant of Christ. He created a political order that extended the lifespan of the empire for another millennium. And by merging church and state, he changed Christianity forever. The persecuted church became the imperial church, and that opened the door to centuries of corruption, hierarchy, compromise, and borrowed pagan practices. If you enjoyed this video and found it educational, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know in the comments. Were you shocked to discover that he committed these atrocities just 1 year after the Council of Nicaea?